Hey everybody, Tanner from Three Brews Tea here. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 different Western methods for brewing loose leaf tea. Some people think that brewing loose leaf tea is too complicated and time consuming, but I'm going to show you with these 5 methods that it's really quite simple. So we have the teapot with an infuser. We have a basket infuser you put in your teacup. We have a French press, a mesh ball, and refillable bags. So let's start with the refillable bags. Let me get these out of the way here. So for all of these examples, we're going to be using a loose leaf black tea. So we're going to be brewing at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 minutes each. So the fillable bags are usually made from paper like this one or cloth. So to brew with the bags, you open the bag, add the tea, seal up the top of the bag with the drawstring, and place it in the cup. We have our 200 degree water. Just going to pour over the bag. And we are going to set our timer for 2 minutes. And our 2 minutes is almost up here, and you can see how the water has changed color. Just going to allow the bag to drain. And set that aside. So you can see the fillable bags are just like a tea bag to use in terms of their convenience. Fill it up, brew the tea, then you just throw the bag away. However, just like standard tea bags, they can contain harmful chemicals in the paper itself that is not really good for you, and you don't really want all those chemicals coming out in the tea. Okay, let's set this aside for now. And let's move on to the mesh ball. So the mesh ball, just like it sounds, is a filter screen ball made of stainless steel that you fill up with tea. And then you close the ball, close the clamp, add the mesh ball to the cup, and we're going to add our 200 degree water. We're going to set our timer for 2 minutes. And allow it to infuse. And we're just about done with our infusion here. Lift this up, allow the ball to drain. So the advantages of the mesh ball are that it's reusable, it's fairly easy to use. However, one issue with the mesh ball is this. If we open this up here, you can see how the leaves have expanded. So when loose leaf tea leaves get wet, they expand. And loose leaf tea needs a lot of room to infuse. The more room for infusion, the better the infusion process is going to be, and it's going to happen more efficiently. However, with the mesh ball, since it's such a small volume, as the leaves expand, they clog the holes in the mesh ball and essentially block the infusion process from happening. So that's the issue with the mesh ball. Let's close this back up, get this out of the way. And next, we're going to move on to the French press. So typically thought of for brewing coffee, the French press can also be used to make tea. So first you add the tea directly to the French press. We're going to add our 200-degree water. Again, same temperature, same time of brewing for all of these methods, and we're also using the same amount of leaf. So in this demonstration we're using 4 grams of loose leaf black tea for about 8 fluid ounces of water, which is about 250 milliliters. So once you add the water to the French press, put the top on and allow 2 minutes for infusion. So I'm going to start this timer. So you can see with the French press, there's a lot of volume for the tea to infuse. There's a lot of volume for the water to saturate the leaves and get those compounds out of those leaves that give tea its unique flavor. So we're approaching 2 minutes here. So I'm going to slowly depress the plunger on the press. And that's going to filter out the leaves. Now we're going to take our teacup here and pour it out. Now it's important that you pour out all of the water out of the French press, because if you go for another infusion of this and you're letting the water sit in the bottom, the tea is going to get really bitter. It's going to extract a little bit too much of those catechins and you're going to get a bitter flavor in the tea. So the advantages of the French press are, as you saw, very easy to use, it's easy to clean, and if you have a larger volume French press, you can brew tea for multiple people at once. Make sure that you don't leave any water in the bottom of the French press. All right. Next up, we have our teapot. Now, for people who aren't too familiar with loose leaf tea yet, this is probably what they think of when they think of brewing loose leaf tea. So to use the teapot, we're going to add our tea directly to the infuser that is in the teapot. We're going to add our 200-degree water. And we're going to want to make sure that the water level is above the tea in the infuser. And the more volume in the infuser that we give the tea, the better the infusion process is going to be. So we're going to put our lid on here, set the timer for 2 minutes, and allow that to infuse. So the teapot is a great method of brewing loose leaf tea if you're going to be brewing for a lot of people, like if you have a party or something, or multiple guests over that are going to be tasting a tea. The teapot is a great method because it's got a big volume, they come in all different sizes, and you can serve multiple people at one time. So we're approaching 2 minutes here. So once the tea is done infusing, simply pour it out into the cup. Now, if you're going to be enjoying tea from a teapot just by yourself, you never want to leave the infuser inside of the teapot for any period of time. Afterwards, you're going to want to remove that so that it doesn't continue to infuse and it gets overbrewed and can become bitter. So we're going to take this out and set that aside. So once you drink all of this delicious tea, pour some more tea into the cup. And finally, that brings us to the basket infuser. These come in a few different styles. What I have here is a metal basket infuser. As you can see, very large capacity, high volume that you can stick in any teacup that you may already have. And this is a glass infuser and teacup set. So the infuser is made to fit directly into the teacup. And both of these are great methods of brewing tea. So I'm going to brew both of these at the exact same time. So I'm going to take this metal lid off here. We have 4 grams of our black tea. Pour that in the metal infuser, this one in the glass. And we're going to add our water. And I'm going to set our timer here for 2 minutes. So the advantage of the glass infuser is that you can actually see the infusion process happening. You can see the hot water just extracting the flavors from the tea. The basket infuser over here, the stainless steel one, is doing the exact same thing. It's just a little bit harder to see what's actually going on. But both of these methods are very easy, very simple, as you just saw. As we're approaching 2 minutes here, I'm just going to stop the infusion process by gently lifting out the infuser, allowing it to drain. And this infuser actually has its own holder that you can actually save the leaves for your next infusion in. And now we're going to pull this one out as well. And with this one as well, you can see the wet tea leaves, and you can save those for your next infusion easily and conveniently. So again, both of these methods, very easy to use, convenient, very little cleanup, and as I hope you've seen, brewing loose leaf tea is very, very simple. With both of these basket infusers, it's very easy to brew loose leaf tea if you're, say, at your desk at work. If you have a hot water cooler, you just go fill up your infuser, put it in your cup, add some hot water from the water cooler, and allow it to infuse. So in my opinion, this is one of the easiest, if not the easiest, method of brewing loose leaf tea. Simple, convenient, and effective. So if you've enjoyed this video on how to brew loose leaf tea, please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and more tea brewing videos are going to come your way. Cheers.